welcome to Hatherlow and George Lane Church on this pretty auspicious evening as we gather to celebrate Alison's ministry. For the past 10 years, of course, with us here in our churches, and for 10 years before that. I think she should come and take centre stage just for a moment and give us a wee twirl. This is Alison's idea of hell, to be the centre of attention like this. So let's all enjoy it. No, but in all seriousness, we are here to celebrate this amazing minister who has served us so well. There is going to be time for some speeches and presentations of gifts later on. But I want to just take this opportunity to welcome especially Alison's family, who are on the VIP table over here. And I have no doubt that it is going to be a fantastic evening, because we are going to be led ably by Frisky Pigeon. And if you didn't know, this floor here is for a reason. So who brought their dancing shoes? Who's wearing their dancing shoes? Okay, I think it might be time. Thank you, Frisky Pigeon.
Thank you, Johnny. So, the best way to celebrate, I think, and the best way to thank Alison for this wonderful is by getting up for our first dance, which is by her request, the Gay Gordons. So, if you'd like to bring a partner to the floor, you're going to stand in couples.
Of using English people, really. So we're going to address the haggis. Is that okay? Yes! So there's two things that we need to do. First of all, for those who are properly Scottish, can I apologise? Every long word that you're going to hear. The second thing is that Alison is going to have a leading part. And you boys? Okay. No, like it. Can everybody hear me? Yes. I apologise for that. If I honest son say this, great chieftain of a pudding place, above them all you take your place, Christ pipe and firm. Worthy are you of a grace as long as my arm, the groaning trencher, there you build your huddies like a distant hill. You pen would mend the mill in time of need, while through your pores the Jews distill. like amber meat. Give me a minute. Hard knife, see rustic labour. I'll do it again, okay? Hard knife, see rustic labour did, and cutter it up with bare slits. You're gushing intel break like on a dish. And then, what a glorious sight! Warm, leaking, rich. Okay, big finish, you ready?
Yeah.
Ye palace. But man, but mark mankind your care. This about this great fair, all of Scotland. Once they skinking wear that jams the luggies, but no, if you wish, here our love. Say it with me. Give us a haggis!
Forward and present a gift to Alison and offer a few words. So if you could maybe think about coming forward now, I have one other thing to do in the meantime. We have a missional partnership that all of our churches are a part of. And in order for the missional partnership to function properly, we need a convener. And our convener has just actually concluded her 3-year term and is leaving us for pastures new. Now, one of the things is that in the winter we meet on Zoom so that people don't have to leave home on a weekday evening when it's cold, potentially icy and wet. So it did mean that we did not get to present Elizabeth with the card and voucher. So I've asked Alison if we can commandeer her evening for just a moment, and I'll ask Elizabeth to come forward, and I will ask Alison to present Elizabeth with her card.
I'll just say thank you very much indeed, and it's been a very quick 3 years. Thank you to everyone for your support as well, particularly members of the steering group who worked so hard in terms of working with partnerships, and thank you.
Thank you. So, given that I'm holding one of the gifts, do you want to be first? Come on in, Jill. This is from Hatherlow URC. Can you have an idea what it is?
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Thank you. I think so. Why don't you open the box now? Come on. Everyone is dying to see. You can see the way thought about it. Oh, wow.
So I've just chosen to mention one thing, and that is how brilliant we were during lockdown. From setting up WhatsApp groups to having numerous Zooms to things for the NHS and all sorts of other things, the man's porch was never so busy. So, thank you very much. Thanks to your care, we didn't lose anybody at Marble during lockdown. So thank you for that, and thank you for all that you've done. We really will miss you.
I feel like I'm at the Eurovision Song Contest and I'm about to announce the next act. We have Short Street United reporter. So thank you.
This is very heavy. Very honestly, no. Okay.
Well, why don't you open the topic and then that'll give you a good indication as to what it is.
That's even heavier. I do have a removal form that's what is it? We don't like broken wrist. Okay.
It's not to walk.
Oh, my environmental credentials is it's got a bird bath and thank you so much. Oh.
Really nice to say a huge thank you, Alison. You have been such a ray of sunshine, a font of energy. You have infused us in many, many ways. I think you've also worried a lot of the people in Hazel Grove. I think when you see a minister running towards your car with bags of goodies, it's really quite worrying. But they seem to take it really well. And it was one of Alison's ideas that we did our Christmas biscuits and singing, and it just made us feel really happy that we could do something in the community. We trust that you and Ken have a fabulous time in Leicester. We will miss you something terrible. Please don't be a stranger. If you're in this area, pop in and see us. We would love to see you at any time. But good luck to both of you. Have a lovely week.
So we've got Barbara now from Edgeley Community Church, one of our LEPs.
What you said, our church hasn't known you very long, so you just really, it doesn't seem very long being in the partnership. So, I just thought I'd do the artist stuff. So we haven't known you very long, but I know that our church has been very affirmative when you've been to worship with us, and you know your name now, which is good. No, so it's been a pleasure to know you, and wish you well in your retirement and all the care.
Thank you.
So we have Steve from Tin Whistle and Glossop Text.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for the garden.
Well, so I'm on the garden thing, we can do a garden voucher. So anything that you haven't got here, which would be very surprising, there is nothing to go. Especially with the rewind to Easter projects that we do at church, and it's been marvellous, that's the children in this church. And we're all thinking of how things were at.
It happens, I'm quite proud of this. Chris?
We give you this
and we hope it brings back lots of memories of your time with us. Your ministry here has been one that we will always remember with gratitude and with love, because all your ministry for all of us here can be summed up in one word, and that's love. And we're very glad that you now will be able to relax and retire together, and we know that this love of yours will be spread in other directions. All the very best.
So we now have Penny from Providence New Mills. Penny?
Robbie, yes, this goes with that.
There's a bit of a theme in some of these gifts here on the deck.
So is it a partner to that? It's a partner to the one I'm already at. Thank you so much.
And happy birthday to Ken and Alice.
Thank you, Benjamin.
And I don't know how many times at Providence we have said how blessed we've been with you and what a privilege it is that you've been our minister. It's been, beyond words, really, and we can't express how much we appreciate you. We wish you all the very best for your retirement, and we hope you have a nice, chilled out time, some of the time.
Linda, Jen and Eva from Hatherlow and George Lane.
So Alison, there are just no words. You have been amazing. For Hatherlow, you make most of us elders. And my maid and me, you have to be an elder. But it has been an amazing journey, and the last 10 years have been amazing. You've guided us when George Lane joined us, and you made us one, and we just wish you all the very best. There's just no words. We'll miss you immensely. Have a blast.
So before I say a few words on behalf of the partnership, it would not be right to gather together this evening and not mention Ken. And I'm going to have to interrupt whatever you're doing with the camera there, Ken, and ask you to pass it to one of your friends to your left or right. And we would like to present you with this most Scottish of gifts, a single malt, and a voucher to spend on something for the new house. But just to say thank you for everything that you have done to support Alison in her ministry, and indeed in the ministry that you have offered. So often, flying under the radar, but doing so much. So thank you, Ken. So Alison has been primed that she needs to say a few words, but I'd just like to say a few words myself before I hand over to Alison. I was going to start by saying, dearly beloved, we are gathered here this evening because this church is really good for parties, and when there's a party atmosphere, I generally think of a wedding. So I know that you've presided at many weddings here. It's part, including Jen's, that's why she was whooping. But it's part of the fabric of ministry. So Alison, we are gathered together this evening to honour you, to celebrate your 10 years of ministry with what is now the East Cheshire and Derbyshire Borders Missional Partnership, but of course was the Goit and Ethro pastorate when Alison was called just over 10 years ago. Alison was called from a group of churches in West Yorkshire. She joined what was then a team ministry with her colleague Annette Haig and worked very happily for a number of years. as a pastorate minister. I believe that you initially took a lead in Marple Bridge and Providence New Mills, but that you preached across the pastorate. You'll know that churches are like most other institutions and organisations. We go through restructures from time to time, and Alison very honourably took on quite a few more churches about 6 years ago when the East Cheshire and Derbyshire Borders Missional Partnership was created. I could probably tell you lots about what a good minister Alison is, but the fact that you're here this evening tells me that you already know this. You know that she has been dedicated, dependable. She's been passionate in the worship that she has led. She is a phenomenal preacher, and she is an orator. But she is also a woman of great integrity and conviction. And you might not believe it, but she has a wry sense of humour. And for that, we are going to miss you deeply. Alison has done amazing things in this time of ministry, but one thing I want to pick out is her work with schools. Alison has created links with schools in many of the areas where our churches are sited. Alison has gone into schools, she's offered sessions on religious education and tried to demystify what it is to go to church for so many children who don't know what church is like today. Alison has also done something called Rewind to Easter and Rewind to Christmas, which is a fantastic program that I know is very well loved and regarded by so many here among us. And in fact, we had one of our most recent Rewinds to Christmas here in this space just over a month ago, and it was a really joyful day with about 60 children from the local school. I haven't been around that long, so it's probably hard for me to tell you some of the stories, but one thing I can say is that I've known Alison for about 7 years now. I originally came to this patch on a placement from training to be a minister, and Alison was my supervisor. This was back in 2018, and I spent a year being supervised by Alison, meeting monthly, and then various different ministry things. And she made an impression. I don't need to sugarcoat what I'm saying this evening, because if she hadn't, I wouldn't have come back, would I? Clearly. But the church is also a bit of an incestuous place at times. And when I was ordained, Alison actually became my ministry mentor. For the first 3 years of ministry, you were assigned a mentor, and that was Alison. And then when the opportunity came to serve with her as her colleague, I jumped at the chance. But here's something interesting. When I first met with Alison, I thought, well, this is different. Because Alison really has always treated me with such respect. She's treated me as an equal and always as a colleague. And I can't tell you how much I've learned from her, not just in the techniques of ministry, but in the way that you embody presence and in the way that you are with people simply. So I wanted to speak to that this evening and to say, Alison, I have learned a huge amount from you. I know when I came here just under 2 years ago, I knew you were leaving. I knew that was the deal, but I absolutely would not have missed this chance to be your colleague and to be your friend. I feel a huge honour that I can call myself your friend now. I'm going to shut up in a minute, but I'd like to offer Alison an Irish lesson. Alison, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall softly in your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.
follow that. All I have to say is thank you. Thank you for 10 wonderful years here amongst you. You have journeyed with me wonderfully. You've even allowed some pretty harebrained experiments to take off. And sometimes you've said prayerfully, no, or not yet. And I respect that, and I hear that, but it doesn't mean I won't offer it to you again when the time is right. It has been a wonderful opportunity to serve. There are so many things that I would want to thank individuals for. And if I did, I would end up naming probably every one of you. So hear this and hear yourself. I want to thank the musicians who have led our worship and our social life together in so many different ways. You enrich us deeply. I want to say thank you to the worship leaders, the ordained and the lay, the just getting started and the please don't put me up there's, all of them, who have encourages some sort of activity that goes on in the church that is for church and for community. That is the way in which church reaches community. You can have as many special services as you like, and you'll not get a single new person through the door. But have a night like tonight, or a coffee morning, or a club, and people come in and discover, actually, these Christians they're okay. I could risk going back on another occasion. I want to thank the elders and the ministry team. You are a strong group of women and men, and you lead well. Trust yourself and go forward in what you're doing, thoughtfully, prayerfully, generously, and it will be fruitful. Trust yourself. Ken and I have been very happy at Marklebridge. We have thoroughly taken part in just about everything that Marklebridge and the area has to offer, and that's wonderful. I will not miss single-track roads and horses round every corner, but the beauty of coming over the hill from New Mills down into Mellor on the evening in a summer's day is beautiful. The journey out to Tintwistle on a Sunday morning with the sun shining down, it enriches, it has enriched our life as we've taken part in it. I don't hide anything when I say we're going to Leicester and it's flat. But I'm sure it has other things. Every one of you has been a blessing to me and stands ready to be a blessing to each other and to this place. So go forward with courage. I'll send you an email occasionally.
think one of the really wonderful things about an event like tonight is that it really does show church at its best. And of course, an event like this takes hard work, planning, and a lot of legwork, as I'm sure any of you who have ever stepped foot in a church will know. There has been a small group of people that has been meeting to plan the evening this evening, and I want to mention them by name. Linda is our workforce. And Alan, who is in the second half of the I'll say three names and then you can clap once for the next people. Jen, Rod is here, and who else was there? Anne, where are you at? We get down to the level where there are so many people who have helped to set up the room tonight. Mostly people who I know are sitting on this table who have buttered hundreds of slices of bread and made so many sandwiches, so I'd love to give them a round of applause. And to all those who were involved in gift buying, I'll let you into a little secret. We decided that we wouldn't buy Alison 9 different rose bushes simultaneously. As lovely as rose bushes are, they do tend to be the default gift. So we actually coordinated, and there is a distinct garden theme here, led by Alison. So thank you to everyone who bought presents and who put in the legwork to do that. And before I hand back to our wonderful musicians, we'll definitely be giving them a big round of applause at the end of the night to show our appreciation. But finally, an applause, I think, for each one of us who turned out here tonight to show Alison how much she has meant to us these past 10 years, and really how much we are all going to miss her. To Alison. Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake.